All right, let's try it now. Is that better?
A lot better, yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, I don't know what that was all about, but we weren't live before, so now we're live. So I don't know if it was that in the background. So, all right, I'm going to hop on my phone because we are not able to see unless they comment who's on the chat with us, unlike a typical Facebook Live. So, but I can on my phone. So anyway, so
it's doing it again.
Have you used StreamYard before?
No, I've not. It is doing it again though.
Oh, damn it.
Let me see. I have no idea where my headphones are, so I can't plug my headphones in.
All right. Take your time if you want to go look for them. Hey, everyone. Say hi when you log on. Hey, Carrie. Hey, Caitlin. Just say a hi so we know who is here, because with StreamYard, we can't see the same way that we can with Zoom or with Facebook Live. So just say hi and where you're plugging in from, like what state or what town. I know so many of you are local. So, LeaAnn, are you still getting the feedback? LeaAnn, can you hear me? Because you're not answering.
Oh, I think you froze. Okay, I can hear you now.
All right.
How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Okay, so is the feedback still there? You're still getting that?
It is. It is. Is anybody else hearing it? Or is it just...
All right. I think it's LeAnn's internet is a little unstable. I think that's why it's causing that. Alistair, you have any insight on that? Hi, Cindy. All right, this was easy before. All right, we're waiting for our guest on and off, and then it cuts out for a bit. Oh, no, only Wi-Fi, Caitlin. So, all right, you guys, just pause, say hi. Yeah, Cindy. Okay, awesome. I think it's on LeAnn's side, although Carrie is saying it's cutting in and out. So, but she's on mobile, so that's probably why too. Yeah. So yeah, when we tested it earlier, we had no problem. So, so say hi, say where you're from. When LeAnn hops back on, we'll introduce her and we will get down to the nitty gritty. Okay, cool. She's back. Let's give it a try. 3 times the charm. All right, LeAnn, we're saying 3 times the charm. You have your earbuds, so say something so we know we can hear you.
Hey, I can hear you, but I'm wondering if I'm having internet problems.
I think so, because you're like on your side, it's a little blurry, like a little sketchy. So, and that's what I thought was the problem when I was trying to use Zoom earlier. But it was Zoom. It was not my internet because this works perfect. So, all right. So, well, welcome, LeAnn. This is like our first having you as a guest on the Adopt a Single Mom Project page. So I'm super excited that you're here. Give me some kind of indicator if at some point you're not hearing me loud and clear. And so for those of you, I want to introduce you, LeAnn, if that's okay. I'm going to give you your appropriate introduction, and then we'll just talk about a little bit about our background and how we know each other, which I shared with those last night. But I know many of you are new to our page that will be getting this over the next few days. I've shared this in a lot of Facebook groups and tagged a lot of people who I know will be sharing it out. So for those of you who are not familiar with myself, I'm Donna Nelson, the founder of the Adopt a Single Mom Project. We're a grassroots grassroots organization that empowers working single moms here in Northeastern Pennsylvania. Our mission is really to create direct support for the working single mom, helping fill those gaps with a network of sustainable resources and support to really enhance her quality of life, so that she can thrive as a mom and a woman in our community. And we're doing this a number of different ways. We started out doing just a Christmas gift drive. That's how LeaAnn inspired our project, and we'll talk a minute about that. But we've really grown and expanded with a lot of community support and interest from the working single mom here in Northeastern Pennsylvania and beyond. And so now we're really focused on doing community engagement and comprehensive mentorship programming in all areas, particularly around personal well-being and finances and relationships, career enhancement, social and emotional enrichment experiences for both the mom and her kiddos. So we're really growing and looking to continue to bring value to our working single mom really across the world. And this is one way that we're able to do that, is by doing these lives. And so I've reached out because of LeaAnn is messaging me. Let me see what she's saying here, you guys. So I'm going to try one more thing. Keep hearing. Okay. So LeaAnn is troubleshooting her tech issues. So, but as you all know, everyone across the world right now is being affected by COVID-19, and it's causing a lot of stress and overwhelm and concern on many levels about how this is going to impact our lives. And so I realized that I'm hearing, getting messages from moms on a daily basis. I'm hearing it from my business friends. People are really concerned about how we're going to navigate all of this at an emotional level, at a social level, at a physical level, and really how it's going to impact us at a spiritual level. So one of the most important things that we can do is stay connected, stay engaged in a meaningful way, in a meaningful, supportive way, and knowing tools to do that and the right mindset to have is really critical. And so over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have my expert friends in the field of health and wellness and mindset and personal development and whatever else is going to help us come on and share with you their expertise so that we can resource together. So keep watching for more announcements coming your way. I'm going to plug LeaAnn back in. So to introduce you to LeaAnn, LeaAnn Fuller, she is an empowerment coach. She's a women's advocate. She's an author. She's a podcast host. I've been on her podcast. She's a speaker. She's a financial coach. She and I were in a coaching program, and that's when she developed her Fuller Life facilitator coaching business. She's from upstate New York in the Madison area, and she uses her experiences. All right, Caitlin, we're good. Thanks. She uses her experiences as a once young single, considered homeless mom to empower others to stop the suffering and silence so they can find the strength and power in their own story to make an impact they desire and live a fuller life they deserve. So I want to share more of LeaAnn's story with you because for those of you who've been around now since our Christmas drive, and you know that our Christmas drive is our big outreach to the community to support working single moms, it is LeaAnn Fuller who deserves all the credit for the inspiration of that, because she's actually gifted more than 500 moms in her community in the years that she's been doing her Adopt a Mom for Christmas project. And I was so inspired by it the first year that I saw her do it, and said, I want to do that here. And but we're doing it a little bit differently. We're very focused with our work on the working single mom. And LeaAnn really has no limits with the moms that she serves. So it's been an amazing friendship that we've been able to grow and inspire each other and support each other over the last, I don't even know how many years it's been. The Adopt a Single Mom Project we started November 17.
I want to say about 3 years now.
Yeah. And then we were in a coaching program before that. So probably 4 or 5 years we've known each other now and just kind of watched each other's growth and how we've transitioned our businesses and all the fun things that we've been doing together. So, so I want to welcome LeaAnn and to share her brilliance with you all. She's going to talk about tips for staying positive in tough times. And as a single mom of, you have 3 or 4 girls?
3 girls.
3 girls. And now she's going to be a grandmother.
Be a grandma.
So she's well capable of sharing tips and staying positive in tough times. So LeaAnn, I'm going to turn it over to you and we can just dialogue, but I'm going to be quiet and just let you share.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much for having me. This is way better now. I hope it's better on your guys' end.
It's perfect.
Perfect. Okay. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk to all of you ladies. And single moms are near and dear to my heart. As Donna said, that I started my Adopt a Mom program. It was 2011. And really what we're talking about is staying positive in tough times. And really that is where that program was kind of birthed from. It started in 2011. It was my mom's last Christmas. We knew it was going to be her last Christmas, and it was rough. It was hard on us. It was hard on her. It was hard on her whole family. And the best way I know to make myself feel better is to do something for somebody else. So if you're really struggling, if there's so much chaos going on with this virus and the social distancing, I've actually planned, like, what happens if the internet goes down and you actually have to have that one-on-one business? I have a backup plan for that. I didn't have a backup plan for social distancing and not having that one-on-one connection with people, because I am a huge extrovert. So this is killing me. But anyways, back to this. The best thing I know to make myself feel better is to do something for somebody else. And again, the world, there's so much chaos going on with this virus going around and everything. It's hard. We get caught up in everything that we're seeing on social media, on the news. It's one bad thing after another. You don't see the positivity. And if you guys are listening, I would love for you to share with us, what do you see that's positive going on? Because we are getting bombarded with the negative. So I think what we really need to do is focus on sharing the positive, so that that's what we're seeing. And some of the big things that have helped me, and even going back to starting my program, doing something for somebody else, because I see so many people out there reaching out to families who aren't going to school. You have these low income children that are not going to school. You guys are single working moms. You are struggling with childcare, possibly struggling with being out of work, struggling with possibly low income, having, not knowing what you're going to have for food. Because I know, because I've been there. There was a time I had no clue what I was going to feed my children for dinner. So this kind of really amplifies that. So that's what we need to do, is we need to do it together. We need to know that we're all in this together and none of us are alone. And we need to start focusing on the positive, because if you're constantly sitting on social media, watching the news, you're just bombarded with negative. So we need to really be careful who we're surrounding ourselves with. So I think one of the big things we can do is kind of not just distance ourselves socially one-on-one, but cut back on some of the social media. because sometimes you are getting bombarded with negativity. Go through your feed, and what I think they call it muting. You know how we are all have those people that are just negative. Everything about them is
Snoozing.
negative.
Snooze.
Snooze, mute, snooze, same thing. Don't be afraid to snooze people, because they will never know that you snooze them. They will have no clue. But tell me, let me know, because I cannot be the only one that is just bombarded with negativity from some people. Don't be afraid to snooze them. I think it shuts off so you don't see their comments and their posts for 30 days. And just start eliminating those negative people, even doing it one by one. That's really a good start. And I'm one that I don't watch the news. And some people think I'm stupid or naive. People think that I'm crazy and naive for not watching the news, but the news is just bombarded with negativity. I would love to see more of the positive stories, see more of the stories where people are out there doing for other people. The people that are donating to families. One of my dear friends had a cereal drive a week ago here in our local town. I'm in a very small town. They had a cereal drive for the families to send out. I have another dear friend of mine who actually started it's called a program called Aaron's Angels that she started in her school district. So what she does is she does meals for low income families and during the day. So they take donations for these low income families. And during the day, when the kids are all off to gym class or music class or whatever, they go in, they give the teachers their meals for the evening and then for the weekends, and stuffs them in their bags to go home. Nobody knows what's happening. And the kids go home, they don't have to worry about what they're having for dinner. And with all of this, they're actually delivering food to these families. My sister works for another school district. They're doing the same thing. I actually have seen our bus going by where they're delivering food and supplies for some of the families. And I think really the key to this is getting yourself involved in this if you can. And I think a big thing is doing it together. I think we are a community of women that we're strong. We've been through it all, and we have the power, if we really want to make a difference in each other's lives, because we can't do it. We can't do it alone. I can't do it alone. Donna, we can't do it alone. We have to be in this together. And I think that's one of the key things to staying positive is supporting each other, building each other up, and not getting caught up in that negativity, not getting overwhelmed. Because I can even say so myself. I sometimes you're just reading this and it's very overwhelming, isn't it?
It really can be. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think sometimes it's important just to take a step back, and this is a good time for us to evaluate who we are, what we want to do, because this is the world is changing. It's changing who we are as people. It's changing economically, as business, as moms. It's all going to change. I think this is a very pivotal moment for us. And we are always talking about and worried about change, but the change is upon us. And I think now is the time where we can really evaluate where we are and where we want to go. And I kind of challenge you guys to really look at that. Look at the things that you love and focus on those, because what you focus on is what you get in your life. So if you're focused on the negativity and you're focused on the doom and I can't even think of the word. It just totally lost it. But if you're focusing on that doom and the gloom that's going on, that's where you're going to get stuck. So I really challenge you guys to really find the positivity. Take 3 positives every day and really focus on them. and focus on your goals for the next day, because that gives you something to think about. I spent many, many years, we talked about a little bit about having my 3 girls, and I people talk about hitting rock bottom. The way I explain it, I kind of rolled around on rock bottom um, for many years, and way
She was
too long.
current under the rock.
I just rolled around on rock bottom. But the way I look at it, and it's all about perspective, right? Our perspective makes a difference in what we see and what we focus on. So it's all about perspective. So I rolled around on rock bottom, but looking back now, all I could think of is a damper, when they're damping down the sand and making it hard for when they're doing foundation work and everything. They're tampering it. And that's the way I look at it. That's what I was doing. I was setting that solid foundation to build on. And I know how easy it is when things look very negative and everything around you seems like it's falling apart. I know how easy it is to get caught up in that. But I think the most important thing for us to realize is where we are right now is only temporary. And we need to be able to look up, because that's what I was doing. I was so busy focusing on this circle of negativity and being stuck where I was, and not knowing what the future held. I honestly didn't even feel like I had the luxury of thinking about my future. Um, and so I didn't. I lived day by day by day, and it was the same. I was kind of going through in slow motion. It was awful. But what I didn't realize is I was kind of stuck in this little bubble, and that's where I was focusing and trying to focus on getting through the day. But what I didn't realize is there was more out there. My boss asked me at the time, my mentor, he asked me, he's like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And my mouth hit the ground, because I didn't see I had the luxury of seeing myself 5 years down the road. I felt that I was going to be exactly where I was. But what happened is when he asked me that, he kind of gave me the permission to look up. So I want you guys to look up and look past this and see, what is it that you want? What can you learn from this? What can you change from this? Because what's happening is everything is shifting, and we have a choice where we can shift with it, we can change with it, we can adjust, because who better can kind of adjust and go with the flow than us as single moms? We have no choice. We have to keep moving, because it's not just us, it's our children. They're depending on us. And yes, it's a lot of pressure, but if anybody can do it, we can do it, because that's what we do as moms. We keep rolling with it. We keep going with it because we have to. But as you're doing that, take this time as an opportunity. If you see this as a challenge, it's going to be a challenge and a struggle. If you see this as an opportunity, that's what you can find is an opportunity. So take a look at where you are and what you can do, and turn that into an opportunity, because I think the world is really changing, and I think we have the power and the strength to change with it if we allow ourselves to. And I think that's how we can stay positive, is by focusing on these things, focusing on the opportunity. What opportunities can we find with this? Who can we help with this? Because, like I said earlier, the best way to make ourselves feel better is to do something for somebody else. Yes, we may be a little bit more limited than we used to be, but it doesn't take a lot to make somebody else feel better. Maybe it's just a matter of reaching out to somebody, reach out to a neighbor that may be a little bit more susceptible and can't get out, and say, hey, how are you doing? What do you need? Reach out to your girlfriends, because sometimes all it takes is that quick phone call or video chat and say, hey, how are you doing? Girl talk. Let's catch up. Let's do coffee virtually. Yes, we have to socially distance ourselves, one-on-one contact, like I'm in New York where they're shutting everything down. Like I don't know if it is in Pennsylvania yet or anything, but literally everything is shut down other than essential employees. My children are all essential. I work from home, so I'm just hoping my clients are essential. but this is an opportunity if we see it as that. And I think that's what we need to do to stay positive is see the opportunity, because every time a door is closing, a new one is going to open. So sometimes we have to make our own doors. If you can't find the open door, maybe you need to make your own door. So those are a few things that I would love to hear. And I don't have it, I'm not seeing it, so I don't know if Donna, if you have any comments or anything, but I'd love to see what you guys have going on that's positivity. That's what we need to do. We need to flood our social media with positivity, and it's contagious. Negativity and positivity are both contagious. What do you want to catch?
Right. I love all of the stuff that you're saying, LeaAnn, and you're right. It's, what can we use every day to bring positivity? So, like one day I posted a cat of my picture, like from 3 years ago, that I was scrolling through my phone and I was like, oh, he's so cute. Like it had no point other than like, it's not complete crazy shit that's going on, in the world right now. So, so people are starting to post, more entertainment that is not related to COVID-19. So things that aren't toilet paper related, aren't, some other crazy nonsense. Like be posting stuff that's encouraging and empowering and entertaining that has no connection to this situation at all. Because as I said in one of my Facebook Lives the other day, if
Oh, I think we froze, but I'm sure Donna will be back. She was talking about posting her crazy cat picture and stuff. I'll add to that. I have some friends, and actually, this is a great time for us to really focus on our family and our children. My children now are kind of all grown up and everything, but really focus on them and building those bonds and spending quality time. And one of the best things I love seeing on social media is those crazy videos of the crazy things that our children do. Post them, spread that. You know how the kids get crazy and you just have to really laugh at them? Go ahead and share that, because that's what we need to do is see that craziness that's going on. So that's what I really encourage everyone to do is keep posting that stuff. And like Donna was saying, it has nothing to do with the virus, has nothing to do with COVID-19. It has nothing to do with toilet paper. I do find it funny when people are posting the pictures where they found toilet paper. I still am not 100% sure what the toilet paper craze was, but it's the little things. And then it went from toilet paper to cat litter. But we need to find the opportunities. Take this time as an opportunity. If you have time, I don't know about some of you guys, one of the things I'm focusing on is I'm reading a lot. Going for walks, it's starting to get really nice out. Where I am, it was like 65 degrees today, which for us in New York is wonderful. I know it's a little bit nicer down in Pennsylvania than it is here. Go out, get outside, get some fresh air. It's good for your immune system and it's good for your mentally. So physically and mentally, the fresh air is good for you and healthy for you. So get out there, get some fresh air, get in your garden. I love gardening. Do some gardening, do some running, do some physical activity, like anything you love to do. Now is the time to do it. Even if it's dancing in your kitchen, now is the time to do that, because whenever you're doing something you love, it's going to make you happier. It's going to be more positive. It's going to have a positive effect on you and your family. So, hey, whoa.
What the hell?
sounds like your StreamYard goose is going
Everyone
crazy.
knows that I'm back. Oh, holy hell. So, oh my God. I'm like, I don't even know how to rejoin my own meeting. You can hear me the whole time. Oh my
We were
God.
just chatting about doing some of the things we love. I know here it was 65 degrees today. I know it's warmer down where you guys are than it is here, but getting
Not
outside
much. Yeah.
and
It's not,
enjoying the beautiful weather.
yeah. So the other thing that you said, just to kind of jump, I guess, where we were,
Yeah.
in talking about posting stuff that's positive and empowering. So that, you know, it's not constantly reminding us of all of the stuff that we've been experiencing, because it impacts our impacts our nervous system in a negative way. And what we do when we're keep reinforcing this information over and over again that we have no control over, it's building these strong connections in our brain, which over time, for some people who are already at their tipping point emotionally, mentally, spiritually, it's going to turn into a trauma. And we don't want it to traumatize you. And one of the reasons that we're doing these lives and bringing in these coaches and experts for everyone is so that we can have some resources and learn some ways to navigate this with ease. And you're absolutely right, LeaAnn. We know as single moms, anyone that is resilient and adaptable, it is a single mom for sure, right? We have had to learn to do that. And this is our time to shine, regardless of whether we're struggling with finances or trying to figure out freaking math homework or whatever it is. It is our opportunity to really step into our own power, step into our resources of our sisterhood, and just stay connected and leaning on each other and pushing each other forward with the resources that we do have. And it's why we know that this mentorship that even you spoke about, LeaAnn, with your boss from years ago, is that we know how important mentorship is. That's why being right here on this live is important. Posting things, like I see our moms who are posting things on our live now, like my friend Eileen, who is such an amazing inspiration. She is a single mom and has always worked multiple side gigs for, you know, raising her kids, and still does with her full-time job, and is doing empowering things to set an example. And she's posting it on Facebook, hopping on and doing a live talking about mindset and positive energy and something cool she's cooking or whatever, so it is things like that. But when we're posting that, we're sharing our power with others, because we feel like, and again, words have meaning, and I'm a big word junkie. So every time somebody uses a word that I think is negative or disempowering, I try to squash that. So even the message of social distancing is disempowering. It's paralyzing for social beings. So let's reframe even that. It's not social distancing, it's physical distancing.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need to social distance. That's why we're here. We're connected. You get, as LeaAnn said, stay in touch base with a neighbor. You can pick up groceries for them if you're going out. You can walk their kitty litter to the garbage or whatever. I do wish someone would do that for me. But there's so many little things that we can do to not be social distancing, be social connectors. We need to be social connectors right now with physical distance between us. So words have meaning. Don't keep telling yourself and buying into the story of social distancing. That's my tip for staying positive right now.
I think it's important for us to just connect it's just a different type of connection. We're connecting on a different level. May not be sitting across from each other side by side, but we can still be connecting and be together. And we are stronger together, and we're stronger by empowering each other. And I think one of the most important things that we can really remember at times like this, or really any time, is to not panic. no matter what's going on, we can get through it. No matter how bad it is, it's only temporary. We need to remember this is only temporary. And this is just one more piece of a building block for your future. It's one more thing you can carry with you as a tool. We need to find what we can draw out of this to use later on to
So,
build ourselves up.
amen, sister. And I'm going to post it later because I just didn't get to it. But one of my friends posted today. I'm going to find it in my images right now. So a couple of things. So Jim Rohn, for those of you who are like under 40, you probably have no clue who he is. But Jim Rohn is one of my mentors from many, many years ago. He's one of the pioneers in personal self-development space around positive mindset and personal growth and that stuff from like the 70s and 80s. And someone posted today a quote by him saying, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Now, we know that as entrepreneurs and coaches and, those of us who have spun off and done our own things despite having even a formal education. We know that opportunity is unlimited. And right now is such a fantastic opportunity to explore some things that you thought you wanted to do and start trying them out. Reach out to a mentor like LeaAnn. She's a great business coach. And again, for any of our moms in this space or moms exploring entrepreneurial space, she is a great one to reach out because she's lived it and she's done so many different things. And both of us have taken so many different coaching classes and hired coaches that we have now been able to develop our own philosophy and skill sets of things that work. So if you're looking for things that are opportunities, it's unlimited. It's always been unlimited. The key now is that we have more time. Unless you're an essential employee, like so many of our moms are, I see who is on here, and some are working overtime. They're not actually having the liberties of being at home and sitting around reading a book or like Eileen, she got to paint a new room today. So we're making progress. And so I loved the tip of every day have a goal list. We will get lost and depressed in isolation if we do not have a daily goal list. I don't care if your daily goal is to get the laundry done today or rearrange a kid's room today or color your hair today, like whatever it is. But if you don't have it written down and start your day with a purpose, then you're going to get lost in the drama and the negativity or start feeling extremely lonely and isolated. And then the more that happens, the more difficult it is to reach out. So it's really important to have that daily, what am I going to accomplish today list. So,
some of the other things, Donna, when we're talking about that, is we're talking about having, doing 3 positives, setting some goals, but also keeping up with some sort of schedule is really helpful. Get up and, you get up, you work out, still take a shower. Sometimes it makes a difference just getting dressed. Even when you work from home normally, sometimes I can tell a difference myself when I actually get up and get dressed and actually do something, or I lounge around my pajamas and work in my pajamas. It makes a difference. It makes a difference to just keep going on and keep up with the schedule. And now is a perfect time to start, like you were talking about. Now is the opportunity to explore some of the things that we wanted to do. You have that time now. Time is not an excuse now. For some of us, some of us are still essential. But if you have this, use it as that opportunity to really finally get out there. And I think the other thing this shows us is there's no such thing as job security anymore. So I think this is also our opportunity to really spread our wings and stretch ourselves and push ourselves outside that comfort zone and take that thing. Because I mean, our world is a lot bigger because of social media and everything like that. But I think it's kind of shrinking our world down a little bit also in person, because you're more likely to do something with somebody closer than you are. You're not going to drive half an hour to go to Walmart. You need to start reaching out to somebody who your neighbor is that can make you a quilt, or you know what I mean? So it's a chance and an opportunity for us to really look at our hobbies and say, what can we do with this? And
Yeah.
don't be afraid for different. The other thing it teaches us is how important it is to have multiple streams of income,
Mm-hmm.
so we aren't hard pressed when something like this happens. This is changing. This really will change, I think, how we do business and how we live our daily lives when we do get through this. But I think it'll be for the better.
Well, for some, it will be for the better.
Mm-hmm.
And those who don't adapt, and those who are going to remain in a victim mentality are going to struggle. And using the tips that you just gave us, I forget how many, I was typing them in the thread as you were sharing them. So I don't know what number we got up to, if it was 5 or 7 or whatever.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, starting our day and ending our day with gratitude. We know that from science has already evidenced us that having an attitude of gratitude and doing a daily practice of attitude where you're emotionally feeling into that appreciation, it lowers our stress level. When our stress level is lower and our body is in balance, then we are strengthening our immune system. So just that one thing is the right start and for a day. And having, I love the whole exploring hobbies, right? Because so many of us are so community minded and philanthropic and cause driven. And how do we make a difference? So one of your other tips was be of service somehow. It doesn't mean you have to go engage with people necessarily, but what are those hobbies that you have? And then how do you do something with that hobby that then can be given to someone that can make a positive impact in their life, right? Even if, so I'll use these kind of as an example. I don't have one of the bracelets on that we make, but these little My Intention bracelets. So as an example, right? So I have the stuff to make these, and I make them, and then we sell them, and then part of the money goes to the Adopt a Single Mom project. So even just something like that, Carrie, was it you that posted? I don't know if Carrie is still on here or not, but she said her and her daughter were going to be painting rocks this weekend. And then she had this idea of going and putting them, Carrie, share it in the thread exactly, because I'm totally just going on memory. But that she was going to put them in people's yards so they could find these little inspiration rocks. And that's amazing, right? So just something like that. So it's a mindfulness exercise that is a stress reliever. It's creative, and then it's doing good for someone else too. So I love that idea.
It's starting ripples. And Carrie, while you're doing that, do a hashtag so that you can encourage people to take a picture of it, hashtag it, and put it on Facebook and kind of spread it, start those little ripples of joy and positivity. That's awesome. I love that.
That is a great idea. Here's what she's saying. We've loved finding the rocks around town or in the community in the past, so we're taking the time to make our own and share. So however she's doing that. So take LeaAnn's advice, hashtag it. You never know where these things go. And then we can all search, and make sure you take pictures and post them on Facebook so we can see. So, because again, that's inspiring, right? So someone is seeing another positive activity that someone else is doing to serve and support someone else. So, yeah.
Another thing I really want to throw out there is don't feel bad about doing something for yourself. Don't feel bad about just sitting and reading a book. Don't feel bad about going outside, going for a walk. Don't feel bad about just saying, I need 5 minutes, locking yourself in the bathroom and breathing. I think it's important for us. Sometimes we just need to breathe. Sometimes you need to breathe. Sometimes you need to take a break. Sometimes you just need to call up your closest girlfriend and say, okay, you need to talk me off a cliff.
We do that pretty regularly around here.
And take care of yourselves, because that's what's most important. It really is, especially in a time like this. We need to really take care of ourselves.
Right. And I forget what you said. It was going to hobbies, but I'm going to take it like on another piece of that spectrum. But it's what do you love, right? So not what do you love necessarily in a hobby, but what is it that makes you feel supported and nurtured that doesn't require another person in your life?
Go take.
They're not already living with you. This is physical distancing.
Yeah. That's the thing though. I think one of the cool things they did is they made all the state, county, and local parks free, because typically you have to pay to get into some of the parks. So take advantage of that and go for a nice hike. Enjoy the beautiful spring weather. There's so many things we can do, but sometimes we just have to let ourselves do them. And I think it's important for us to not be afraid to ask for help, not be afraid to reach out. Because I know how sometimes when it's dark, you get scared, you don't think anybody will understand, and you feel like you are all alone. If you're ever in that place, don't be afraid to reach out. There's so many people that are out there to support you. Surround yourself with those people that will support you no matter what you're going through. I think that is so, so, so important. I cannot stress that enough. And don't be afraid to reach out to them people. Don't be afraid to reach out to Donna. She's amazing. Don't be afraid to reach out to me and just say, hey, I can't tell you how many people I've talked to this week that I've had to kind of, they just needed an outlet just to vent and get it all out there and say, okay, take a deep breath and let it go. Sometimes you just have to.
Yes. One of the benefits that we added to, and I didn't say this in our introduction when you were getting your text stuff and getting logged back on, but, the Adopt a Single Mom Project is a membership group now. So of course we have this page and we continue to share lots of benefits and support, to all those who are, friends and single moms and, supporters of the Adopt a Single Mom Project on our page. But we have a private group for our members. And one of the membership benefits though is our healing circle. And we generally do it once a month. I do it. It's all my coaching tips and tricks to help navigate all the things that we're struggling with. And it's just really empowering to get in a circle of other women who are aligned with where you want to go with your life, what you're struggling with, and then collectively have someone be able to mentor and navigate you through what we're all struggling with, and come out of that experience feeling renewed and supported, and having more energy then to continue on through the day. So if there's single moms that are not members yet, you're listening to this, go to adoptasinglemom.org. Click on the membership tab, check out the information so that we can continue to support you. We're always here. We're always here, as LeaAnn said, to support you. So you can PM our page anytime. One of the other things, LeaAnn, I don't know if you realize it or not, because we haven't talked about the membership. I don't know how much you've been following the Adopt a Single Mom Project, but one of my really good friends, a single mom who I met through this project, she's has a master's in social work and deals with a difficult population all day long. And she had volunteered to be our empowerment advocate to support our moms. So they get once a month at our level 2 and level 3 members get an hour a month of free therapy and emotional support from April.
Wow.
So
That is amazing.
yeah, it is. And at some point, we'll have to add on more support for that because, she can only do so many hours a month.
Right.
And we're
Right.
very, very sensitive to not having her burn out as well. So, so between the healing circle, which is a collective of us, and then having that one-on-one and having access to us to just pick up the phone and scream, is why the Adopt a Single Mom Project exists, because we need a support system.
Yeah, absolutely. And ladies, you really don't be afraid to reach out to your support system, because it's important that we have that, especially in times like this. And we make a choice every single day. Every single day, we make a choice when we get up in the morning. We make a choice of what we are going to do with our day. Are we going to make the best of it, or are we going to find the worst in it? So every day when you wake up, before you even plant your feet on the ground, make a decision, because you have that choice. Nobody else can make that choice for you. Yes, people can rain on your parade. Yes, people will sometimes try their darndest to ruin it. Kids, coworkers, spouse, well, if you have spouses, whatever, significant others, it's life happens, but it's up to us to decide how we're going to handle these things. And it's up to you to make the best of it. It's up to you to do everything you can. And we can do anything we want. We have the power to do whatever we want. It's all in our choices and what we want to do with it. So before your feet even hit the ground, make that decision. You're going to make the best of it. And when somebody does approach you, sometimes don't be afraid to step away and say, you know what? This isn't aligned with what I want, and just step away. Don't be afraid to say no if something isn't suiting you. I'm a part of a women's organization in Central New York. It's the WBOC, and we had a kind of a celebration for women's suffrage. Happy International, what is it? International Happiness Day today.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think so. Anyways, we were talking about, as women, we always feel like we have to say yes. We always feel like we're getting pressured into 100 different directions, and people are always asking of us. And somebody said, if it's not a hell yes, it's a no. So if it does not excite you enough to say hell yes, don't be afraid to say no. That's what we need to do. We need to take our power and use that, especially in times like now, when we're struggling, when we need that positivity. If it isn't suiting you, wake up, decide you're going to make the best of the day. And if people aren't aligned with that, just take a deep breath, step away for a minute. There are ways to handle bosses and kids, and sometimes it's just a matter of breathing and just distancing yourself for a minute. And sometimes negativity and positivity is contagious. What do we want to spread? What are you going to spread?
LeaAnn, I love that you said, what will you choose? That was your tip number 7, by the way. Just say what you were going to make, that you were going to make it the best. And it's like I was reading your mind, because I followed it with saying no is okay. And then you led right into that. So on my closet door, so when I roll out of bed, that's what's facing me. And I have, oh my gosh, I don't even know how many years I have had it there now, but probably 2 or 3 years for sure. And I have an index card that says on it, today I choose, and then there's a blank line. So every day I get up and look at that and decide, today I am choosing what, right? And some days like not procrastinating. Some days it is I'm choosing happiness. Some days, like, so whatever, what is that? Is it an action? Is it an attitude? Is it, what is that empowering thing that you're going to choose each day? And having these little reminders in front of us. Sometimes I think, people think because we're coaches that we've got our shit together somehow. I don't know why people think that, but I guess because they only see us on like Facebook Lives or something.
They only see the highlights.
Highlight reels, right?
Not the highlight reels.
Exactly. So, but the truth is, every day is a do-over and a start over. With the same things everybody else has to deal with. But the thing is as we build habits, that it becomes more automatic. That's the point of a habit. And that's why I have those reminders in front of me, because as my goal and intention is to rewire my brain and have this shit on automatic, so there's no effort. That's the point of being in flow. That's the point of developing habits, is so that we have things that preserve our energy. It's like, what's your automatic when you get out of bed? I don't really have an automatic other than walk to the kitchen and get my coffee. But some people, that's not even always an automatic. So I'm very erratic. But for some people, it's roll out of bed, I brush my teeth, I go pee, I hop in the shower, and I get dressed. Like, that's their automatic. Nothing happens before that.
But non-negotiables. They have their non-negotiables.
So, and that takes no effort, because that's your routine. And just as you were saying, LeaAnn, having a routine not only creates security for us, and there's comfort in a routine, but it also saves our energy. And that's what we need to be doing right now, is preserving our energy by protecting who's around us, protecting what's going into our mind, doing things that renew us every day under that kind of self-care umbrella that you mentioned, and on and on. So, yeah.
Kind of what you're talking is a little bit daily affirmation. Come up with a daily affirmation that, and stick it like you have yours on the wall. Even if it's, I can get through this. It doesn't have to be anything spectacular or fancy, or just something simple. I can get through this, because we can get through this. We can get through this together. We're stronger together. And that's what we need to remember. This is only temporary.
Yes. So, right. A simple affirmation is, I am courageous. I am strong. I'm resilient. All our little dandelion things. I am love. Love is the highest vibration. Even if you say, I am love every day, I give love, I receive love. I give this to one of my clients, and it was the most empowering thing for them, because they hadn't been loved and they never saw themselves as love. So only as giving and people taking, but never really as love. And when you can shift your energy and your heart into believing and knowing, I am love, I give love, and I receive love, I'm deserving of love, your energy immediately rises, even if you don't believe it really. Because our mind eventually believes everything that we tell it, which is why what you're saying, LeaAnn, about protecting ourselves from social media. And as I saw Eileen just post about limiting her access to her phone each day. So our brain, words have meaning. All the data input has a significant impact on our mental state, and we need to protect that. So this has been so awesome. All right. Yeah. With something fantastic. What do you want? What's the last thing you want to share with us?
The last thing I want to share, kind of piggybacking on what you said, I have a friend, Neo, look him up, Neo Positivity. He says this thing all the time: thoughts become things. And just like what you were saying, what we think is what will happen. And so we can think positively, but I really think the most important thing we can remember is we're not alone in this. And I think I've already said this, but I think I cannot stress it enough, because when we are in these dark times, we do feel like we are alone. We're not alone. We're not going through this alone. There is support out there. You just have to ask for it. Be brave, ask for it, and decide every single day to make the best of it. Do something for yourself every single day that is going to make you feel better. And keep
Awesome.
going.
Fantastic. All right. So LeaAnn, do you have a few more minutes?
Sure.
All right. So, so just for everyone that is here, we have no plan for how long this was going to be. We totally are going to wing it with all of our guest experts. So it might be 15 minutes and it might be an hour and 15 minutes. So we're just going to go with it. But since LeaAnn is offering a little more time to stay with us, do you have any questions about LeaAnn's work, being a single mom? Entrepreneurship, some more tips, some things you're struggling with that you want her to help you with. Let's, because I don't know what the delay is with this. So post any questions that you have or comments for LeaAnn. I probably should have said that while you were talking before I said, give me your closing statements. That would have been efficient anyway.
Yeah, no, that's, I get it. I just think that it's hard being a single mom, and we carry so many burdens. We wear so many hats that we get spread thin. And I think as moms, we don't take care of ourselves. And especially times like this, we have that much more of a burden on ourselves, or we feel like it's more of a burden. But I think it's exactly what we spoke about earlier. You're going to find whatever you see in this opportunity, and whatever you focus on, and what's going on is what you're going to get. So if all you're seeing is the challenges and trying to struggle to find the daycare and less money, more, whatever it is, if all you're focusing in on is the challenge, that's what's going to keep coming up. You're going to keep getting that stuff thrown at you. But if you can say, I got this, I can power through this, because we all can. I'm not going to say it's easy, because it is not always easy, but we can power through this. And if you're focusing on the opportunity and, okay, I can't work. The kids are home. Yes, it's going to be stressful, but let's get out a deck of cards and let's play a game, or let's get a board game out. Let's play some games. Let's spend some quality time. Let's focus on the hobby or something that I have not had time before. What is the one thing as moms, as busy single moms, we always say, I don't have time for that. What is the one thing that you have always said, I don't have time for that? Take this time and focus on that for a little bit.
Very cool. That is such a great tip right there, because we do often, and I think it's habitual. It's a story we kind of tell ourselves around, I don't have time for that. All right. So now LeaAnn's calling out the bullshit and saying, all right, well, what is that? Because most of us do have the time now. So we do have a question. Mm-hmm. So Eileen says, can you describe your work?
So, I actually have a wide range of work. So I do coaching. I actually have a bookkeeping business. I've always been a serial entrepreneur, as I call it. Having my kids and raising them on their own, I always had to have side jobs. But the coaching and the bookkeeping are the big things. So I do financial coaching for businesses and personally. And I also do one-on-one coaching. I actually am putting together, because again, everything is changing. I'm actually putting together a course on starting your own podcast, and also a course for getting started with QuickBooks. So I mean, it's a wide range of what I do. What's that?
I said, Eileen, that's right up her alley, the whole cookbook thing.
So, again, I do one-on-one coaching. I don't have any groups right now, but I have done group coaching. I've done a 30-day Welcome to Your Fuller Life challenge.
Mhm.
So yeah, I have a wide range of things that I do.
So, so what is the one-on-one coaching that? So, if some of our moms might be interested, like what could they expect if they were going to reach out to you, and how you might work with them?
So what I would here's what I could do if it's something that would interest you and interest your group is I do have my 30-day challenge that I do, and basically it's a workbook. And if anybody is interested, I would share that with them. And what we can do is kind of do some weekly check-ins. And if it's something you want to offer at whatever level or in your group or whatnot, I'd be more than willing to do that.
The 30-day Fuller Life Challenge?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they would like that. I think that's a really good opening into the coaching program, and that gives you an idea to start looking at life and see where you want to improve, where you want to dig in a little bit more.
Yeah, it is. I remember it, LeaAnn. It's really good foundation work. And this is really a time for us to go back to the basics and get a good foundation again. So, yeah. So if any of you ladies would be interested in that, comment below, or just friend LeaAnn. Reach out and PM her. Go on her Facebook page. It is LeaAnn Fuller, your Facebook page, right, LeaAnn?
Yep.
So, she's easy to find. So either message here, maybe collectively we could do something that would be really fun, or just reach out to her and let her know that you would like to do that. So, all right. Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for being here. There was no more questions. Cindy said, applause and gratitude to you women who are so willing to share your life experiences and wisdoms with us. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
So, all right, girlfriend. Well, it's so awesome to see you. I'll see you soon. Let me know if I can serve you in any way.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. And you know what? You ladies are awesome. You're doing an awesome job. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. There's just a bunch of speed bumps in the road. You can just keep driving over them. You're doing a good job. And I think it's important for us to remember that.
Yes.
Even when things are going to shit, remember, you are doing a good job.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. All right. Great sign off. All right.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye.